Okay, cause number 54576. In the interest of the Shropshire child, everybody's going to testify. And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, status hearing. Anybody, Miss Willis is not here. Do y'all see her?
No, Judge.
Okay. Patrick Shropshire, anybody know where he is? Is he?
He's incarcerated. He's in TDCJ, and they will not allow him to participate except for in the final trial.
Lovely. Okay. Okay, Miss Vanna, what's up?
Judge, at this time, I'm going to ask if the court would entertain a reset of this case to January 24th of 2023, which is, I think, a docket that you have available. I don't know if you have the date available for us, due to the department did not file a service plan for the father, and we are not ready to proceed today.
Okay, have y'all, let's see, Miss Griffith is the caseworker. Have y'all, hold on, let me see something's going on in chat. Nope. Have y'all had a family group conference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does Miss Williamson have a family service plan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what's the story about the dad?
He's incarcerated, Your Honor. I met with him by Zoom 2 weeks ago. I just submitted his family plan, so that's why it's late, Your Honor. He is aware of the family plan. I've mailed it to him for his signatures.
Okay, is it filed yet? Or you're waiting for him to sign it, right?
It's filed, but yeah, he hasn't signed it yet, Your Honor.
I mean, it's not filed with the court yet, right?
Agata, have you received it? It was received this morning?
No, ma'am, I do not have a copy of that. If it was e-filed this morning, then nobody else has received it either.
Okay, yeah.
And Your Honor, I don't think my client had received a copy to sign yet either, but I think Ms. Griffith was going to send her that.
Okay. Let's see, I can do a reset on the 24th, Tuesday at 2:00. Is everybody available then? It should just be, I mean, I got between 2 and 2:30. So, I mean, it's a status hearing. It shouldn't take that long.
The county attorney's office and the department is available.
Okay. Ms. Potts, Ms. Wright, are you?
I should be, Judge. I've got a mediation that morning, but it's half a day, so it should be fine.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good, Judge, too.
Okay.
And I wanted to thank Yolanda for getting all of these services set up for us so that we could have them quickly. I'm really appreciative of that.
Okay. Okay, well, we're not going to do anything else. We're going to reset till 2:24 at 2:00. Ms. Wright, did you need something?
Yeah, Judge, there is an issue with the visits, the virtual visits. The child is not wanting to do them for the full 30 minutes, or she's not wanting to do them. They're every other day for 30 minutes. I think it's 3 times a week, 30 minutes. And then she has an hour visit on 1 day a week in person. And it just seems to be a lot for Trinity. And she's, the caregiver doesn't want that. She doesn't want to force her to do it, but she doesn't want mom to feel bad. So she's kind of in a rough spot. But the child's just not wanting to do them all the time.
30 minutes is a long time to keep a child on the phone.
It is.
Would it be better to do like 2 times a week for 30 minutes or just reduce them all to 15 minutes?
Judge,
I would say 2 times a week up to, whatever the child tolerates. So if the child wants to sit there for 30 minutes, let her. But if she doesn't, then let's not force her to hang on.
Okay.
And she's 5, Judge, and I know that my 5-year-old doesn't even want to talk on the phone for a minute. So
Right.
It's hard to get him to do that.
Well, it's good that mom's doing it and seeing her and everything. A lot of it's for the mom too. So, okay, visits reduced to 2 times per week, up to 30 minutes, or as long as the child will visit. Yeah, I mean, nothing worse than having to hold her there, and then she just gets mad and pissy and cranky, and that's not good. So, okay, and that's just That's a Zoom visits.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I think-
Candy, no.
Okay, well, we'll go on and change that this week, and we'll go over everything else next week. Y'all get those service plans filed and circulated, and we'll talk about it next week. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge.
There you are. Okay, good. Okay, I was really confused. This is a status hearing. Let's see, Miss Sherman's here. Mr. Sherman did not appear. I was confused about the report. I thought that Nathan was going to stay one place and Holly was going to go somewhere else. But from reading the reports, it sort of sounded like they're at the same place. So somebody help me on that.
Miss McDonald, I believe that the children are in two separate places, correct?
Yes, the original placement indicated soon after the placement that she wouldn't be able to continue with having the children. Of course, both children, their main focus was to stay in Burnett. So they are in two separate placements with friends of classmates or classmates' parents or grandparents. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But they're both in Burnett.
And I knew for a while it was maybe y'all were having difficulty finding Holly a place, but we found her somewhere and everything's good.
Seems to be good right now. Yes.
And Nathan's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, from reading the reports, it didn't, looks like Mr. Sherman basically said, forget it, I'm not going to do anything. And Miss Sherman is working things and wants to reestablish a relationship with her children.
Correct.
And that's what I got from reading the reports, and the kids are doing well. So,
Yes,
Miss Vanna, what do you need today?
Judge, we would ask the court to make the service plans that were filed with the court by the department an order of the court today. Also keep the visitation, they filed visitation plans to make those orders of the court. And I think it's what had been established at the adversary hearing. We're asking, I know that, and Ms. Cummings will probably chime in here in a little bit, but it looks like she filed an answer and also requested that there be an interlocutory termination of Mr. Sherman's parental rights. But I don't believe that all the parties are in agreement of that at this time, Judge.
There was a family group conference and Mr. Sherman didn't appear, correct?
Correct.
But so we went on and made a service plan for him anyway, correct?
Yes, Judge.
So he wants his parental rights terminated with no responsibility, had to pay child support or anything like that, correct?
Correct.
And I figured that's what one of the hangups is, right?
Yes, Judge.
Yeah. And Ms. Cummings, you can explain to your client that I can understand why there's not an agreement about that.
Your Honor, I don't think the issue is not the child support. The issue is that his kids do not want to have any contact with him, and he does not see reunification with him being a possibility.
I understand that too, but I also understand he's got two teenagers that are expensive, growing young folks that are expensive. Miss McClure, you were to be the weigh station for the child support where each parent was to pay $250. Have you received any of that?
I have received a $250 on the dot on the 15th of each month since that order from Mom. I just got hers on the 15th of this month. Dad sent the correct amount on the 15th of December, but I have not received anything from him, and I do not show anything from him at my post office from him for this month. And I have distributed $250 to each placement based on the first month's payment. And since I just got Mom's in, I'm holding it to see if Dad's going to pay or not, because I don't know whether I'm sending $250 to each placement or if I'm having to divide the $250 from Mom and distribute half to each placement.
Okay. Well, today's just the 17th, yesterday's a holiday, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So that sounds good. Okay. Okay. I read in the reports that I think Nathan saw the dad again at 7-Eleven or somewhere, but I don't believe they had any contact. But I don't think that there was a intentional violation, protective order. So that sounded good. And I think both kids are in counseling, right?
Yeah, Nathan has started. I think he's had one session, would do a second session this week. Holly has not. She has, I believe her first session is scheduled. There seemed to be some kind of confusion with Andrea Rice's office regarding, I think they reached out to schedule something before she moved and didn't have her updated information once she moved. So she is scheduled now. And I've also made a referral to CK Behavioral Services. I'm not really familiar with what all they're going to do. It looks like they offer some wraparound services. So I believe they're initiating some services through them as well.
Good. And Miss Sherman's in counseling and everything, Miss McDonald?
Yes, she has reached out to her therapist and I believe has her first session today, or got it set up with Tina Nunley. Yes.
And so we're going to work on everybody being in counseling for a while before we start working on some family therapy. Is that the plan?
Correct.
Okay, good. Okay, Miss Vanna, what else do you need?
I have one question for Miss McDonald. Has Miss Sherman written any letters to the children that you know of yet?
No, he hasn't. I reached or texted him several times asking that he do that everyone felt that would be a good way to start some visitation or communication. I believe the last time I asked him, he just stated to go through his attorney for everything.
And Miss McDonald, I'm asking about Miss Sherman.
Oh, Miss Sherman, I'm sorry. Yes, she has written letters and they were appropriate and I have sent them over to each placement. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, she has.
And so the department's goal is to eventually step up those visitation to maybe begin phone calls through a therapeutic setting. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
Anybody have anything of Miss McDonald? No. Miss Wright, what do you need?
Nothing, Judge. My client's working to try to identify resources to help her with housing. You know, everybody's got this housing issue, but that's really the main barrier in the case.
Okay. Miss Cummings, we'll establish a relationship with the kids, but that's doable.
Yeah.
Miss Cummings.
Your Honor, my client would just like for his parental rights to be terminated at this time.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Casa, Miss Parmenter, like I said, long time no see. Glad you're back. You had to
Good
have
to
a
be
break
back.
after a jury trial, I guess, huh?
Yes.
Casa, anything that wasn't in y'all's report?
I'm just very concerned about, well, Nathan, most about Nathan, but he seems to have shut down as far as schoolwork is done. We've had multiple low grade reports or work not getting turned in. He has been a good student in the past. Holly as well has missed days of school, is missing assignments. I don't know if this is, I'm not sure what's going on with him, but I really think he needs maybe more intervention. I don't know if we can arrange for more therapy, for either something through Phoenix Center or if there's a way to get EMDR set up for him. But he has suffered trauma and it's definitely had an impact and it's having an impact on him academically.
Miss McDonald, is the CK services, are they able to deal with some of the things Miss Parmenter's talking about?
I am hoping so. Again, I'm not familiar with them. Their website indicates that those are the kind of things that they do. I will say that I took Nathan in for a psychological last week and he is being diagnosed with a learning disability. I reached out to the school yesterday to find out what services are already in place for him. And I haven't heard back, but I've had some contact with the school. So if they're not already providing him 504 special ed, then I asked them to initiate that. So we will see what we can do to shore up those educational. Same with Holly. I did talk to her counselor from school yesterday. Her grades are slipping compared to last year's grades. But I'm going to meet with her this afternoon. So we're trying to see what all's available. It's really difficult for Nathan since his caregiver doesn't have a car. Setting up services for them are going to be difficult. That's why, we're going the virtual route with him for therapy. And, hopefully her plan is to get a car at some point, and that might make things a little easier. But I am aware that school's a problem.
How
I'm
does she
sorry?
have teenagers and not have a car?
How does she what?
Have teenagers and not have a car?
Well, she just reunited with her own son last summer. Been living, I believe, with relatives, and just got a place of her own in November. She lives in Central Burnett, walking distance to her job, walking distance for the kids to go to school. But, it has been a challenge. But, we're trying to help her, taking him for his dental appointment. And like I said, I took him for a psychological. So, we help when we can. I'm taking her later this week to do her fingerprint check for her home study. So it is difficult, but we're trying to make it work until she's able to get a car. She's hoping she can, maybe with tax season.
Because I would think virtual for a 13-year-old boy would be like pulling teeth.
Could be. I think in person with a 13-year-old boy is going to be the same, I believe. But I agree that virtual is going to be much more difficult. But, he's open to doing it. And Miss Rice didn't indicate any issues with the first session. So, we'll just have to wait and see. Dr. Dayham did recommend or felt that putting Nathan on a low dose of Lexapro may be a good thing for him to help with some of his depression and anxiety. So I've told his foster mom, we're going to wait until the psychological comes in so she can take it in. He said a PCP should be able to prescribe that based on his recommendation. So we're hoping that will help as well.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Lexapro low dose. Yeah, that's not, and it's easy to get on and off.
Right.
And, yeah. Well, y'all be sure and tell the kids, reiterate, I'm sure they know this, but they were in in my opinion, an abusive situation this time last year. And it's kind of weird that they were in an abusive situation, but making really good grades. And now they got taken away from that and they're not doing so well. So I don't really get that. So maybe they need to talk to their school counselor or something too. Miss Parmenter's a teacher, so it's good that she's on this and she knows how to talk to education talk too. So that's good. So if y'all got to go to 504, ARD meetings, all that, make sure everybody's on board. Mr. Grove, if you can't go for Nathan, Miss McClure can go in your place, because I'm sure you probably aren't able to go to those unless you zoom in. But where is Miss McClure? Did we lose her?
I'm here.
No.
I'm here, Judge. I'm having internet issues.
Okay, she can go. And I'm gonna better put that in order so the school doesn't freak out about that.
Well, Judge, along those lines, if the court is open to it, Ms. McClure and I have spoken, and after meeting with our respective clients, we don't believe there is a conflict with them. And Ms. McClure is willing to take over representation of both clients if that pleases the court, or I'm willing to keep on, whatever you would like.
Miss Parmenter, Miss McDonald, Miss McClure, talk to me about that. Anybody have any opinions?
I have no objection.
And the children are not in conflict, right?
Right.
I haven't seen even a hint of a conflict. In fact, when Ms. McClure and I met with them, I found them exceptionally well bonded. I welcome Ms. McClure's comments, but I believe she believes the same.
I do. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that they are bonded. I think that there is a genuine sibling affection between the two. I think they're also protective of one another. So I think that they are aligned, and I think that it would be fine. I'm willing to do that in order to release Matt from the representation, maybe with the provision that if something happens and we have an issue about that conflict, that we could recall him to that representation.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have any objections to releasing Mr. Grove and letting Miss McClure be substituted in for Mr. Grove?
No, Judge.
No.
Okay. And the kids aren't, I mean, the kids are on the same page about the dad situation, the mom situation and all that, Ms. Parmenter, Ms. McClure?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
My
fine
impression-
as well.
Yeah. My impression as far as is that Holly is more resistant to reestablishing, she wants to move really slowly. She wants to reestablish a connection with her mother, but she wants to move more slowly. Nathan has been asking for a phone number, asking for a way to reach out to his mom. So I know he's more open to it. But Holly's, it seems like she wants to keep things moving more slowly.
I'm more, I mean, the mom's deal, that's gonna be, I don't see a conflict there. I was more concerned originally if there's gonna be a conflict between the kids on supporting dad or not supporting dad. That's why we had two different ones appointed at the beginning,
okay.
but we're good.
No, they're
You're good. Okay, Mr. Grove, anything you'd like to add since you're gonna be out?
Judge, the biggest concern that I had, and that this goes directly to Costa's concern about Nathan's grade, was that I emailed the school principal at Nathan's middle school a week ago, 10 days ago, to try to set up a visit for Miss McClure to go in person at her request, and I got crickets, despite the fact I could see that she opened my email. So I'm concerned that the department in CASA and now Ms. McClure are going to have trouble with cooperation from the administration at Burnett Middle School, and perhaps an administrator needs to be welcomed, quote unquote, to join us at the next hearing so they can be motivated by the court that they need to cooperate.
Anybody else have anything to add? That's weird. Anybody have anything else to comment on?
Ms. McDonald.
Judge, I've talked to Nathan's counselor, Miss Jeffries, 2 or 3 times. So, I mean, I haven't reached out to anyone else, but I am in communication with her. And like I said, I left her a message yesterday about the psychological. I haven't heard back yet today, but we've had a good conversation. She called me when another issue came up. So I don't know about any of the other administrators, but I am having conversations with this counselor.
Okay, Ms. McClure, since you're on now, you might want to pass that on when you talk to the school people or Ms. Parmenter and just see what, I mean, maybe they just had a brain lapse. I don't know, but that's kind of strange. So see what's up.
Yes, ma'am, will do.
Okay, does anybody need any new orders today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, here's everybody get out the pen. Here's your scheduling order. First permanency hearing is 4/18. Second permanency hearing is 7/18. Final trial, we get that far, is 10/17. And the dismissal date is 11/20. Ms. Sherman, you have a service plan. You have to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination, okay? But I know you're working your service plan, and so keep up the good work. That's a good plan. Sound like kids are coming around. And I'm happy that everybody's in Burnett. Yay, yay. So only orders today is I approve the service plan, scheduling order. Ms. McClure, substitute for Matt Grove as attorney-at-law. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Grove, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. See you.